Generative AI is the most disruptive force in a generation, and the landscape is evolving faster and faster. Welcome to Cloud AI Bytes channel, where we break down generative AI concepts into bite-sized 4 to 8 minute videos. Hit subscribe and let's get started. Myself, Anil Sagar, I'm a generative AI customer engineer at Google Cloud. In season 1, episode 1, we discussed about three words: vibe coding, agents, and Gemini CLI. Gemini CLI is an AI powered assistant that can help developers to become productive. In episode 2, we're going to see how to set up Gemini CLI in your local machine. Let's get started. First thing first, Gemini CLI is a proudly open source project from Google. It's on GitHub. It's built by developers for the developers. Best of all, it's backed by a vibrant community. Gemini CLI gives you direct access to Google's absolute latest generative AI models, Gemini 2.5 Pro. That means you're getting state of the art reasoning right in your terminal where you develop applications. It's faster, it's hallucinate less, and it understands complex code bases. It's like having a principal engineer ready to pair program instantly. What is interesting about Gemini Pro? It comes with 1 million token window, which is very important to understand large code bases. The token context is nothing but amount of information that you pass to the Gemini API where it understands the context, reason, and gives you the answers. You can almost load your entire repository, hundreds of files, documentation, and configs into memory at once with this 1 million token context window. Through simple config files, you can configure Gemini CLI for different behaviors. For example, you can teach your team's coding standards and it follows them forever. Finally, we have MCP server support. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Think about that we have a laptop and we have USB ports where we connect different devices. Similar way, how can you connect external tools, libraries to Gemini CLI so that it can intelligently interact with them? We're going to see some of them in the future videos. Let's look at how we stack up against other projects that is working in the similar area. We have OpenAI Codex and Anthropic Cloud Code. As you can see this massive red spike, this is Gemini CLI. It's not a glitch. In just over 2 months, Gemini CLI did not just catch up, but rocketed past established tools to almost 80,000 GitHub stars. And it became explosive and de facto choice for many developers who want the power of generative AI in their terminal when they're building the application. Whether you are building a simple web app or you're building a complex full stack mobile app, integrating backends, front end, and as well as APIs. This data is very clear. This is officially the fastest growing AI developer tool on the planet right now. Gemini CLI comes with generous free tier. You can almost get 60 requests per minute or 1,000 requests per day. It's more than enough for you to consume the best of the resources is available through this Gemini CLI platform. And if you use Google AI Studio API key, you can go up to 100 requests per minute. You can also upgrade to paid tier. For enterprise developers, it also offers integration with Google Cloud Code Assist and Vertex AI integration so that you can enjoy higher limits if your organization is subscribed to Vertex AI platform. Imagine you join a new company and you have to learn a massive 5-year-old code base. Usually it takes weeks of reading. And Gemini CLI is like a master librarian with all the intelligent power of generative AI, where it can able to instantly memorize that library. You can ask, for example, understand this code, where is the authentication logic? And it points right to that particular file. But it gets even more interesting with multimodal capabilities. For example, you have a rough sketch of how the UI looks like in a piece of paper or a piece of napkin. You give that to image to Gemini CLI and ask to build a front-end web application. It can able to build it in no time. Out of the box, Gemini CLI is great. Where the real power comes is integration with things like GitHub, where it can review the code, do the PR request, and also even file new issues if it encounters anything in the code. Suddenly, it can connect to new tools like GitHub or even other tools using MCP server capabilities. What do you need to get started with Gemini CLI? All you need is a laptop with macOS, Linux, or Windows, and a Node.js installed on your local machine. You can just type in Node.js in Google and download and install it. Once you have a laptop and Node.js installed, we are good to go and set up the Gemini CLI. Let's see how to set up Gemini CLI and interact with it. As you can see, I'm in the terminal of my MacBook. And if I type in Gemini, you can see it is not installed, it's not found. And like I have mentioned earlier, all you need is a Node.js installed. Make sure it is version 20 and above. We are good to go. How to install Gemini CLI? It's very easy. Just type in this command sudo space npm space install -g space @google/Gemini FNCLI and type in the password. Within no time, Gemini CLI will be installed and we are ready to get started. As you can see, within 14 seconds, Gemini CLI got installed. And let's type in our first command to launch Gemini CLI. Type Gemini. First thing it will do is set up the Gemini CLI. So it asks how do you want to authenticate? Use login with Google, Gemini API key, or Vertex AI. We're going to use login with Google. And it says waiting for authentication. It just takes few seconds and there you go. Now Gemini CLI is ready. Let's type in the first command. How is the weather in Singapore? Gemini CLI uses a wide variety of tools while you interact with it. Google search is one of them. We're going to learn more about tools in the next video. As you can see, it is searching the web and it got the answer. Weather in Singapore is currently light rain with 30 degrees centigrade. And it's actually about to rain here in Singapore. And that's how quickly you can set up Gemini CLI in your local machine. Hit subscribe, like the video, keep watching for the next set of videos. Thank you so much.